Postbeat.tv is excited about the show that's going to take place at the music hall where I'm going to be emceeing with also, hopefully, somebody's going to win this competition by going to Postbeat.tv's Facebook page and submitting your hottest funky moves from the 70s or 80s, as well as the hottest fashion statement from the 70s or 80s. Now, we had a chance last week to introduce you to some members of that legendary Detroit group that was started by Ray Parker Jr., Raydio. Well, it was so well received that we're going to revisit and talk again to these fascinating gentlemen of what is now called the Raydio Show.
I tell you, one day you'll come home early from work. Open up the door and get your feelings hurt because she needs it.
Raydio, a group that was formed in the 70s, late 70s to the early 80s, or when was it formed?
Well, actually, it was formed in 1977, and we went straight to a deal because of Ray Parker Jr. and his history. But if we go back, there's so much aligning history to bring it to that point that it was like, for us, right out of the box. Like, you unwrap the box and here's Raydio. So that didn't happen to a lot of black kids.
During that time, dreams that certainly you proved come true, what is one of the most wonderful memories, and what might be a downside that you're going to share with us right now?
Well, I mean, I would have to go here. Like, one of the greatest moments of Raydio was a moment that I never thought would happen. Because I think I told them, it's documented in one of the magazines that come out, Cashbox or something like that. And I actually said, you know what, I need to be quiet. I need to just shut up and just let this happen. Because it was something that I knew that was going to be bigger than me. And so we're on the first tour now. The record job's been promoted. We're in Florida. We're running through the airport, remember? They bring us Go Records in the airport. So you're talking about a record that within about 2 months was gold. So that's amazing. That was like the same experience that the Jacksons would have felt with being with Motown. Getting in Raydio it was moving so fast that you didn't have no time to think about it. All you could do was enjoy the moment. And so that moment was just fabulous to me.
Yeah. Greatest moment for me was coming back to Detroit to perform first time. When, like, we performed at an old, destroyed Olympia Stadium. But at Olympia Stadium, maybe 300 people, 400 people were our friends and relatives.
And you're bringing back a memory, because when Olympia, I saw a ticket, and they started at $2.50, and that was to see the Jackson 5 at the Olympia, which used to be, well, it's right next to Northwestern High School. It is Tabernacle Church, for those who don't know where it is, right off of West Grand Boulevard, of course. Now, I want to turn back the wheel a little bit, too. We went from, of course, Ray Parker Jr., one of the founders of the group, the founder of the group, and then it was Raydio, then it was Ray Parker Jr. and Raydio. Is there a Dinah Ross story in there, kind of, sort of? Is there a Dinah Ross story in there, kind of, sort of? And in terms of, let us know your relationship with Ray Parker Jr., and you can just whisper that in my ear, and only maybe a couple of million people will hear it, but still let us know your feelings about Ray Parker Jr. and the fact that certainly he went on to the sort of fame that put him in a different category. Your feelings.
Ray Parker Jr., I would say, is a marketing genius and a musical icon that did exactly what he wanted to do, and still to this day is doing exactly what he wanted to do. There are no hard feelings, there's no animosity, because he actually showed us what to do. You know, our thing was we were signed within that organization, so we had to be who we were, and he had to be who he was. So, of course, me and Jerry Knight left early to do our own thing.
Yeah,
but right now, my feelings is there's a Lionel Richie and there's a Commodore. There's a Ray Parker Jr. and there's a radio.
Well, it's interesting because I get this so often. I have no ill feelings. I still perform in radio when we go to Japan and other countries. So I do that. I speak to Ray probably every couple of months. You know, we've worked together to the point where we knew this had to happen because we're all getting to the point where, you know, when you're doing production, people want to hear that music. So I would get, for many years, and I was the guy that walked away. So for many years, people would go, how come you're not? How come you're not? Well, you know, you have music goes on and life continues. So we're ecstatic about what's happening for Ray. I worked all the way up until Ghostbusters. I was the last guy to leave. You had the death of Larry Talbert and you had the death of Jerry Knight, which we did celebrate and keep within our graces of and honoring those people. So this is just the progress that the people are asking for. You know, so
Now, Giovanni, talking to a younger audience, your generation, and certainly, as I said before, that you are learning lessons you can't learn except from legends. So let us know, well, twofold. Number one, the attraction of being part of the radio show and a lesson or two that you have learned from these two masters.
Well, I can say this for sure. It's just like it's changed. It changed their lives back then. It's changed my life as well now, currently. You know, being able to work with Arnell and Vincent has taken my singing career to a completely different stratosphere. And I'm just so honored. I learn a lot. I mean, they are on me all the time, but I enjoy it because I know that I'm getting better every day from being around guys like that. And, you know, I say, it's considered, like Vincent said, in a box, but the thing is that radio and the radio show has a crowd of people over in Japan, Europe, all over the United States that love this music. So I might be a younger guy, part of something that came before my life, but I'm just happy to be able to be a part of the new generation of the radio show and take the torch on to a new generation.
Let the audience know, for those who may not know, why AWB and WAR are must-see, must-listen-to groups.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, you got to pick up the pieces, cut the cake.
Cut the cake, give me a little piece. Pick up the cream. Cut the cake, I want a little piece, baby. You know what I mean.
Iconic songs that were the soundtrack of all of our lives, even until today. I mean, who doesn't hear some guy riding his lowrider, you know, playing one of those songs, right? You know, I mean, A Love of Their Own. I mean, all I can say is those are two great musical groups, just like you were talking about before. Groups that have true musical roots. So, I mean, it's a must-see. You got to be there. If you're not there on May 14th, I mean, I don't know where you can be in the city of Detroit.
and we will be doing Jack and Jill. You can't change that. For those who like to groove, it's time to party now. And many more songs if we get the opportunity, but we will be there.
Now, we are still feeling the pain of losing one of our greats, and that would be Prince Rogers Nelson. We know him as Prince, of course.
We got a great Prince story.
Did you know him? Did you ever get a chance to meet him? And let us know what the great Prince story is.
My Prince story would be when we came, Bootsy tour, I think. We were coming from New York. And we were told that we would be going to Minneapolis to pick up a young artist who was signed to the same management company. And so that happened to be Prince. And when we left Minneapolis, of course, the whole little camp of Ray Parker Jr. and whoever else, they all flew back to California. That was like 79? 78, 79 when that happened. So then he can take it from there.
I actually auditioned for Prince in 1978. And was actually a member of the group for, like I said, a day, 24 hours, until they called me and said I had to move to Minneapolis and sign contracts and all that. And I couldn't do that because I was in radio. Didn't know that Prince was going to do like this. And he was going to become the icon that he is. Because he had Soft and Wet out. And our album, the only thing that kept our album from being number one on the Billboard Top 100 was Barry Gibb and his Saturday Night Live album, then the Samantha Sang album, then the Avery Gibb album that came out after that kept being number one. So we kept being number two. But how are you going to leave a band that has the number two record on the Billboard Chart for 6 months.
with some unknown guy named Prince.
Right, that's got one hit that didn't really enter the top 10 of the Billboard pop charts. It was like #1 in the R&B chart, but he was like 10 steps down from the radio gig. Who would have known he was going to be what we know as Prince, right?
And as the saying goes, the rest is history.
All right, hey, we'll see you guys down there ready for a great time with Arnell Carmichael, Vincent Bonham, and me, Giovanni Rogers, the Radio Show.
Get ready, Saturday, May 14th at the Detroit Music Hall, performing live in concert. It's War. With special guest, the Average White Band. Tickets on sale now. Available at the Music Hall box office and all Ticketmaster locations. To see War, along with the Average White Band, Saturday, May 14th, live in the Music Hall.
There's nothing hotter or more happening than being able to talk